Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and I've got a massive hot take for everybody today, and that is Jedi Master Kenobi even worth farming right now? We're going to talk a lot about Jedi Master Kenobi, and I've got some pretty hot takes in here that I think people will not like hearing, but it's some truth, and I think that's one of the things I try to pride myself in, is that when I tell you guys things on this channel, when I'm giving you advice, I am giving it from the sense that I'm trying to be as honest as I can with you. So we're going to dive right in here. Let's first and foremost give my shout out to the channel members for all of their continued support. These players are all they get a special section of my Discord server. So if you guys aren't a part of the Discord, go join the Discord server. There's a special section where members get access. If you link your YouTube and Discord together, as soon as you join the server, you get right in the members only section. And I'm a lot more active there. You've got questions. I'll walk you through Galactic Legend events and things like that. So go ahead. Shameless plug for that down below. There's a link there. Otherwise, all I can ask is hit that thumbs up button to like this video and subscribe for more content like this. So let's get into this hot take of if you should farm Jedi Master Kenobi. So, the big thing here with Jedi Master Kenobi, I don't know why I did that. I really should have just, go back out here. So, with Kenobi, the big thing with Kenobi that's a problem, if you will, is that, number one, you've got the Commander Tano problem. The best team with Jedi Master Kenobi, you need Commander Tano. So she's locked behind Proving Grounds. She's locked behind the new Galactic Legend event where you can maybe earn some, rewards for her. But you need her. Without her, Jedi Master Kenobi he really loses a lot of his value. Like a substantial amount of value, in fact. The other thing with Kenobi that I find sort of more difficult is that when you look through his requirements, General Kenobi's required, but Commander Tano isn't, Ahsoka Tano isn't, and Padme isn't. So there's 3 other characters that you have to build as part of his team. Now, they're common characters, they're good characters, but you still have to build them up. You still have to invest in them. And that can be a big problem when you compare that to the likes of Jabba the Hutt, where his requirements give you a team to use with him. Think of the same thing with Leia Organa. You're getting Drogon, you're getting R2. You can use some other rebels in that team and still get a solid team out of her, right? And even if you're like, oh, Phil, well, it doesn't give me the perfect one, then use Han and Chewie and use the Toxic Leia comp. Like, it's not that difficult, right? But with Kenobi, it's a little bit more challenging because you've got to build these other extra things. And they're, it's still a solid team, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely lost a step. I mean, Kenobi's getting destroyed by Leia Organa right now, right? Everybody's running Leia. They're just absolutely destroying Kenobi. But the other thing comes down to gosh, if I could talk properly today, with Kenobi right now in the game is he's losing ground where other Galactic Legends are gaining it. Other Galactic Legends are continuing to be, get better and better with time. You think someone like Rey getting Ben Solo made her, not on the level of Kenobi, but made her better, right? She's gotten better. Lord Vader getting Maul, obviously that's fine, right? But you think of the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors made Lord Vader better. You're able to use them with Lord Vader. You think of somebody like Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. He made Jedi Master Luke better, right? I mean, he made Jedi Master Luke significantly better by adding another top-tier Jedi that you can use with that team. So, whereas Kenobi, since release, has only gotten worse and worse, right? That he hit his peak and is now on his way down. And so I can't recommend right now that building Kenobi is necessarily the smart thing when, number one, his Rex are kind of isolated. They're isolated in the sense that they're not going to help you get to other Galactic Legends. Not like the Jabba the Hutt, Jedi Master Luke, Leia farm, where they're all interconnected, they're intermingled, sharing Rex. His Rex are not really overlapping all that much. They aren't, right? They're not overlapping with other Galactic Legends, which is crazy to me. They might help you with a few things, but overall, they're not overlapping with other Galactic Legends, and that's a big problem. That is a very big problem for him. The other problem with Kenobi, in my mind, comes down to just how other Galactic Legends are being, like, you think of someone like Jedi Master Luke can beat, Kenobi. Lord Vader can beat Kenobi. Rey can beat Kenobi. Jabba, Leia. There's so much more that can beat him now. And it's just continuing to cause problems for players who get Kenobi expecting to get this fantastic Galactic Legend, and he's just getting one shot left and right. It's not that he's not a good Galactic Legend, but Right now, in the state of the game, he needs someone else to get him on the level that he can truly compete with other GLs. He truly does. Like, it is unfortunate, but I think that his usefulness has really dropped. Because in the new Rise of the Empire, he's not that good. He's not that great in the new Rise of the Empire. Not like I would say Jedi Master Luke and Jabba are, and what I'm assuming Leia will be, right? Those three characters are phenomenally amazing. Even Lord Vader is just like a press auto in the new Rise of the Empire. Just such a useful character. Where Kenobi, I never truly been impressed with his performance in territory battles. Like, he just does what he should, right? Because his kit, it's the, he starts with that, like, protection up, high ground stuff, but it's only at the start of the encounter, right? Like, it doesn't, the start of the battle, right? It's just, it really, he really, 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 struggles when he gets into that new territory battle, and especially if you don't have Commander Tano, he is just brutally disappointing. So it's a hot take because I know you guys love Kenobi and we love like the character, but as a galactic legend right now, I can't recommend you invest in him when there are far better things that you could be investing in, because he doesn't have one of those events like Leia or Jabba. And then his other limiting feature is that he has his tags. Not that he's a Jedi, right? Because Jedi Master Luke is. It's that he's an attacker. And you think of how many of the conquest feats there are where it's like win without attackers in your team. And Jedi Master Luke can easily get that done because he's a tank. So you can throw other support Jedi in there, other tank Jedi with him, and he does wonders. And so it's one of these situations, I feel, where you've got to look at the full picture. And I think with Kenobi, sometimes we get blinded because this isn't 2021 anymore, where he is the cream of the crop, the top of the ladder. He is clearly the second-tier galactic legend in that grouping, where Jabba, even like Leia right now, I feel is in a tier of her own. That she really is just in this tier of her own. But I'm going to throw a word of caution in here with this last hot take. Leia right now is at the peak of her powers. Leia right now is at the peak of her powers. Leia will never be better than she is in this current second. You look at the, she's got the Datacron, you've got this toxic Leia team. Like, right now, Leia's at her peak. Right now, Leia is at her best that she will be. And that in, a couple of, once this Datacron goes away, as more characters get released, there'll be more counters to her, and she will lose viability. Now, that's not me saying you shouldn't go farm Leia. But ask yourself the question of how much can you actually benefit if you tried to rush Leia now? If you're not going to get Leia until after her Datacron goes away, these Datacrons, right, be prepared to see a steep decline. Because right now, this Datacron set is so beneficial to Leia. Forget that this guy almost has 400% defense. But light side allies using a basic gain, critical chance, damage up, and offense up for 2 turns. That is so great for that team. At the start of their turn, non-galactic Legend Rebel allies have 50% or more turn meter. Damage they receive is reduced by 75% until the end of the turn. So this is basically defense right here. They're just reducing by crazy amounts. And then Drogon, all Rebel allies gain 200% max health and are immune to ability block and fear until the end of their first turn. Like, what? This Datacron is playing such a big role in why Leia is as good as she is right now. And so I'm just a word of caution for you if you're thinking of getting Leia and you're like, oh, I'm going to get her, after the time that this Datacron expires, which I think is like January, right? Towards the end of January is when these Datacrons are going away. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. Yeah. So end of January, this Datacron goes away. If you're going to be unlocking Leia after that time, I'm not saying she's still not worth it, but be prepared that she's not going to be quite as good as she is right now. And this is something I think we need to, as players, recognize and understand. That when these characters first come out, they're always just so hard to beat because nobody knows the real counter yet. They've got these Datacrons juicing them up, and it's just incredibly difficult. It's so new. Give it time, we find the counters, the Datacron goes away, and they just go to being a character that's really good. Think of Jabba. That Jabba was so good when he had his Datacron. And it was like, man, how do we beat Jabba? And then as time went on, right, there's, there was, okay, you know what? Hey, Kenobi's kind of handling his own again. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is handling his own again. Oh, hey, now we've got the Reva team that can beat him. Oh, wow, the Phoenix team is crushing Jabba. So once the datacrons go away, I feel we'll have a much more accurate picture of what Leia's true impact on the game is. So I don't want people thinking that this is me saying don't farm Leia. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that don't farm her with the expectation that if you're going to get her after January, that she's going to be the cream of the crop, that nothing can touch her. Because as soon as the datacrons go away, something is going to be around that's going to be able to handle Leia with prejudice. I guarantee you. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. These are two things that I think that I've seen a lot of players that really make me want to like pull my hair out when everybody's like, you got to farm Leia because she's so good. Like, hold on. You farm Leia because of what she's going to do for you in 6 months' time, not for what she's going to do for you for a month. You need to look at these characters and ask yourself, it's not about what they're going to give you in the short term. What are they going to return in the long term? What is the long-term impact of getting that character in your roster? That's why Jabba is something that's so good with that Smuggler's Run event happening as frequently as it does. Over a long period of time, that return is so massive. Leia does have her event where you're getting some extra relic stuff, but so far, a lot of players have said they're pretty unimpressed with the rewards. I've not gotten them myself, so I will give you my full analysis the first time I'm able to do that. But that's the end of this video, guys. Just some, hot takes I have right now, some words of warning for you. Let me know your thoughts are down below. Like, subscribe, comment. I love all you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.